assessment 5. Okay, this one is on logarithms. Okay, the one that you guys feel is a little bit simpler. Alright, so sketching is very important, okay, because it is a topic that I know a lot of you are very weak in, but somehow you just have to remember the basic shape. Alright, so what is the basic shape? You need to know that, okay, the basic shape of any exponential curve of the form y equals to e to the power of x is going to look like this, right? So this is the basic shape. Now, if you have a negative sign over here, what does it mean? I've repeated it many times. Okay, it means that it's a reflection on the x-axis. So essentially, you're going to have a graph that looks like this. Is that okay? Now, for exponential graph, that is y, this one is y equals to negative e to the power of x. At this point over here, okay, I'm going to highlight it with yellow. What do you think is the y-intercept over here? What is the value of x over there? 0, right? So when you substitute in 0 over here, what is the value of y? 0? Are you sure? 1? Are you sure?
3.
Are you sure? 1? Are you sure? Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. So here is going to be negative 1. But now you're going to have a plus 2. What does the plus 2 do? Do we go up and down or left and right? Up and down. Plus 2, we go up or we go down? Up. This one is up. Okay, so essentially, basically, let me delete off. My final answer, I need to shift this curve up. Okay, I need to shift this curve up. If I shift this curve up by 2, what is my new y-intercept? 1. Yes, this one is correct. Alright, so this is my answer over here. So this is plus 2. Okay, this is the graph of the plus 2. Alright? Okay, let's move on to the next one. Y equals to 3. This is greater than 1. The base here is greater than 1. So the basic shape is going to look like what? What is the basic shape of the parent function log base a when a is greater than 1? It's going to look like this. Am I right? It's good. If you harm me now, I'm very scared now. Okay?
Yes.
Okay? So it's going to look like this. So this is the graph of y equals to log 3x. But take note, I have a minus 1 to the input. This is not the output, right? This is to the input. Minus 1. So what do you think this negative 1 is going to do? Shift to the left. Is it? Right. Okay? Can you please take note? If it's a minus, okay, if it's a minus to input, this will be a shift to right. We're going to shift right. Okay, if it's a plus to the input, we are going to shift left. Okay, this one you must know. Okay, so we're going to shift right by 1 unit. Now, by default, this thing is at 1, right? So if I shift by 1 unit, what is it going to cut it at now? Exactly, 2. Okay, so this is the graph of, not plus, minus 1. Can? Ladies and gentlemen, can or not? Okay, this very simple. 2 marks. This one is really 3 marks. You must be able to draw it. Okay, come, let's go on to the next one. Question number 2. The mass m grams of a radioactive substance is given by this particular formula. M is equals to 26 e to the power of negative kt. Okay, so this is just the formula where k is a constant, t measured in days. It takes 845 days for the mass to be reduced to half the initial mass. The first one, calculate the initial mass of the radioactive substance. When I use the word initial, what is the time?
0.
Yes, good. So we know that time equals to 0. So when time equals to 0, what is my mass? 26e. Anything multiplied by 0 is just 0, so it's e to the power of 0. So what do you think my mass is? 26. Okay? E to the power of 0. Any number raised to the power of 0 is 0. The only exception is 0 to the power of 0. Okay, which is undefined. But if not any other numbers raised to the power of 0, it gives you 0. Alright? So I know that the initial is 26. Okay? Next one. Find the value of k. Okay? Let us read this question. It tells us that at 845 days, the mass is reduced to half of the initial mass. Half of the initial mass means reduced to how much? Half. 50%. So what is the number? 13. Alright, it's 13. Okay, nah, no one. Okay, so it's 13. So now I need to sub into my formula, right? I know that the formula is m is equals to 26 e to the power of negative kt. So m is 13, 26 e to the power of negative k. What is t? I wonder what is t. Read the question. 845. Okay, then how? How do I solve for t? This question very commonly tested. Okay, so you must know, whenever you have your variable as the power, must remember this, whenever you have the variable as the power, you got to either log both sides or ln both sides. Okay, but first, I can divide both sides by 26. I'm going to get 13 over 26 is equals to e to the power of negative 845k. Whenever you have the power as the variable, you want to bring it down. The only method that you have learned so far is to use log or ln. But in this case, it is easier for us to use ln. Why? Yeah, because there's a e over there. Okay? So I can ln both sides. Let's take a look at what happens when I ln both sides. When I ln both sides, this ln is essentially the same as log base e, right? Why I want to ln is because log base of e will just give me 1. Okay? And this is negative 85. I can bring this power down. Okay? Using my power laws. So I'm going to get ln 13 over 26, which is just ln half, is equals to negative 845k. So can I find out what is k? Absolutely, right? So it's just ln half divided by 845. That's it. Okay, that's it. Okay, but of course you need to enter your calculator leave to 3 sig fig. So it's ln half divided by negative 845. That's going to give me a very small number, 0.008202922. Okay, I leave to more decimal place because I think I need to, I don't use that actually. So I'll leave my answer to 3 sig fig. Alright, so here. This is my answer. 3 significant figure.
Yes.
Alright. Next one. What happens to the mass of the radioactive substance in the long run? That means after a very, very long time, what is going to happen to my mass? Yes. Okay, the answer is it approaches 0. Okay, so the answer is it approaches. Can it be 0? Okay, they say justify your answer. So means actually you need to prove it mathematically. If they use the word justify, you need to prove it mathematically. Let's try to make it 0. That means when I let mass be 0, 0 is equals to 26. Here, I just replace the mass with 0. 26 e to the power of k is what? 0.00082. Okay? I want to find the time that will allow me to get 0. Alright? So let us try to do this. I divide both sides by 26. 0 divided by 26. Can I get 0 divided by 26? Give me what? 0, right? Nothing, right? Because I got nothing to divide. So I'm going to get 0 is equals to e negative 0.0082t. Can you try to ln both sides? What is ln of 0? What is ln? Try lah. You must try it. Sing, yeah, math error. Okay, so can you ln 0? You can't. So there is no time that you can get 0. Alright, there is no time that you can get 0. Okay, I give you guys another reason graphically. How does it look like? The graph of it is going to look like this. Oops. Okay, graphically it's going to look like this. Oops, wait. This is the y, this is the x. Okay, here is going to be 26. Okay, graphically it's going to look like this. Now, this curve over here is going to approach 0, but it will never touch it. We call this a horizontal asymptote. Okay, an asymptote just means that it approaches it very, very, very closely, but you'll never ever touch it. Okay, even if you extend it infinitely long. Alright, so the concept for exponential curve is that it will never go to 0. So you must be very clear about that. Okay? Okay, the next one. Question 3. This one is a little bit tricky one. They really question very kind. They say replace, whenever you see 12 to the power of x, replace it with u. Okay? So immediately, you know that you must change everything to the power of, the base of 12. So 144, if you know your multiplication table, you know is 12 times 12, right? Which can also be written as 12 squared. So I'm going to get 36, 12 squared x. Anyone confused? Anyone confused about how I changed from this to this? No, Next one, plus 23. 3x is the same as 3 to the power of x plus 1 is the same as 3 to the power of x multiplied by 3 to the power of 1. Correct? Who is confused? I hope not. If you are confused, that means you should return me your EMF and I should minus a few marks and you should get maybe C6. Okay, if not, hey, this is your EMF stuff, Okay, the next thing over here. 2 to the power of 2x. This one is the same as 2 to the power of 2 to the power of x. Correct? Now, why do I write it this way? Because I know that there is something wrong. I need to change everything to base 12, but I have a 3 to the power of x here. I don't have a base 12 here. So I need to force the base 12 out. The only way that I can force the base 12 out is that here is 3 to the power of x. I can make this 4 to the power of x. Same powers, I can combine the base. So that is my strategy. Okay, so these are things that you need to think about in your exam. Okay, you need to think about this in your exam. Alright, so I'm going to get 36, 12, 2x plus 23, 3 to the power of x, 3 to the power of 1, 4 to the power of x. Because I have these two as the same base, I can multiply these together. Okay, so I'm going to get plus 23 times 3. This is 3 times 4 gives me 12 to the power of x. I'm going to pause here for a moment for you guys to appreciate this thing. Are you guys confused? Yeah, appreciate. I should frame this up. Okay? It's a work of art. Okay, now, next. So I just need to replace all the 12 to the power of x. Okay, so I'm going to get 36 u squared. Anyone knows why I got u squared? I skip one step, but let's not skip. If not, some of you get confused. Okay, 12 can be written as 12 to the power of x squared, right? So if I can replace 12 to the power of x as u, then I get u squared. Okay? Stop singing that TikTok song. Okay, so I get 23 times 3 is 69. Then I get u equals to 6. Alright, yes? Don't need, because they already say already. Okay, they already say on the question. Okay, so here I'm going to get a quadratic. 36u squared minus, plus 69u minus 6 is equals to 0. Okay, so hence solve for this. This one, use your quadratic formula. U is negative b plus minus square root of b squared. Oops. Minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, substitute it inside your negative 69 plus minus 69 square minus 4, 36, negative 6 over 2 times 36. Use your calculators, okay? So if I use my calculator, mode 5, 2, 36, 69, negative 6. So that is going to give me u is equals to half 1 over 2, or u is equals to negative 2. Okay? Now they want us to show that it only has one solution, but here very clearly I got two solutions. What does it mean that I only have one solution? Yeah, you need to reject. Which one do you reject? Why do you reject? Let's see. Because they want us to, u is actually 12 to the power of x. Right? So this is 12 to the power of negative 1. 12 to the power of x. Is it possible when I raise it to any power, it can give me a negative number? No, right? Cannot. So this one we have to reject. This one, x is equals to negative 1. Can? Hey, please, ladies and gentlemen, this one, you must be able to do, okay? You must be able to do. When you see the question in your exam and you realize that you need to change to this one, very often times is you must change it to a quadratic. I'm not all the time, but very often. Okay, so you must remember this. If you cannot, you realize that here is not base 12, then you better split up everything. Split up everything and try to mix and match to see whether you can form base 12. Okay? So in the exam, you have to do things like that. You have to think out of the box. Okay, come, the next one. Given that this whole thing is this, express y in terms of x. Now, I told you before, this one, you need to change everything to the same base. And I told you before, usually we will change everything to the lowest base. But, there's an exception. If you see that generally we don't change to a fractional base. Alright, so we'll change to the base that is the lowest, but it's like a whole number. Alright, so we know that this is base 2, so let's change everything to base 2. 3 can be written as log what? Base 2, what do I put here? 2. Okay? Plus change of base. Change of base formula means I need to change it to base 2. So it will be log 2, it will be a fraction. What do I put up here? What do I put up here? 思佳? What do I put up here? Half your head. Why? Okay, then what do I put down here? Jordan? Half. Okay? Okay, so equals to this 5, I can bring it up. I can write this as log base 2 x to the power of 5 over 2 minus log base 2 x to the power of half. I write it as my index. Minus means what? Yes, that's good. Minus means I divide x to the power of 5 over 2 divide by x to the power of half. Here, this base over here, log 2y, can be written as log 2. Half can be written as 2 to the power of negative 1. Correct? So what can we do to this power? Flip. Bring it down. Correct? The power loss. Okay, so essentially this whole thing at the bottom is just negative 1. This divide by negative 1 essentially is just minus. Is that okay? Okay. I'm just fighting against time. Alright. Okay, don't blink, if you blink you might miss it. Okay? So I have log base 2y. Half can be written as 2 to the power of negative 1. When I have it as my power, I can actually bring it down. Correct? So essentially if I bring it down, here is log 2. What is log 2? 1. So my denominator is just going to be negative 1. So when I take something divided by negative 1, will you not agree with me it's the same as negative? So this is just negative. Correct? Anyone disagrees? Okay? So I left with this thing. Let's write it down. So this is going to be log base 2, 2 to the power of 3. Why 2 to the power of 3? Because the power here, I can bring it up. So what is 2 to the power of 3? 8. Okay, so this is 8. Now, if I have same base and I minus, what's going to happen? So I'm going to get log base 2, 8 divided by y is equals to log base 2. What is going to happen over here? Same base. Yeah, so what's the answer? X to the power of 2. Then what do I do next? I both is log 2. Why is it x to the power of 2? 5 over 2 minus half. 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 over 2 is 2. Okay? Okay. So here we can just compare these two. 8 over y is x squared. What does the question want us to do? Make y the subject. So therefore y is equals to 8 over x squared. That's it. Sure. Why all of you look so shocked? I'm very scared. Okay? Okay. I know now it's your recess. Later, after school, 12:40, I'll be going through the other FA on binomial theorem. Okay? Those of you, in fact, I would say unless you have a very strong reason to skip it, do not skip it. Because if you fool yourself saying that you'll go back and you'll try to revise by yourself, you are just lying to yourself. Okay? I got